Hello everyone, Granite Roots. This is a video about learning how to just win fights with a beginner-friendly Mirage build. And it's so easy to learn, it even makes thieves run away. The dreaded people hate fighting. Thieves, a class everyone's afraid of. Or most people are anyway. And this build is very good against thieves because you have lots of access to stealth and some mobility, and I lost this guy because I made the mistake by porting back. First part of this video is just going to be about, you're just going to this is the appetizer. You're going to watch me do some fights, and then we're going to talk about the build. Then you see me do some fights with more of my strategies and tactics explained about using the skills and traits to the best and most devastating effect. So just sit back and enjoy some of these fights while you listen to me talk about just some of the benefits of this build. It has, like I said, it has stealth, it has mobility, it has invulnerability, it has blocks, it has clones, and it has condi stacks like you would not believe. As you can see on this guy's bar, just watch them melt really quick. And this is good for multiples too. I'm in the middle of a camp, this guy's attacking me, so I got ads to deal with. I gotta fight this guy, although the ads are almost dead. Later on you'll see me fight a whole bunch of stuff at once. And watch how quickly his bar just melts, even with the heal. Gone. And of course I like to stealth before I stomp, kinda like a thief. And this build plays like a thief, which might be why it resonates with me. But I'm fighting everyone from bronze all the way up through diamonds and winning these fights. Okay, this was a pretty good fight. This guy was trying to use terrain to get around the trees. He's using mobility. It's Mesmer versus Mesmer, and he can't keep the condis off. Every time he clears them, I load them back up. Just watch the bars in these while I fight before I get to the portion of talking about the build. And then after we talk about the build, they're going to do, like I said, some more fights explained. And this is a long video, and I usually don't do long videos because nobody likes to watch videos for that long about fighting and stuff like that. However, I would really say for you to really, express the need or just the benefit you'll get from watching this whole video. Even if you have to watch over a couple days, little pieces here and there, it's really going to make sense. A lot of the big mistakes people make when they have a hard time winning fights is they don't understand what their traits do. They don't understand or know which are the best skill rotations. And even if you don't play Mesmer, you're like, well, why do I need to do this? If you want to learn ways to win fights, we talk about other principles that you can apply to other professions, builds, traits, etc. One of the biggest things I can tell you that helps eventually is knowing other builds and traits and stuff they're running. Here, this was fun. There's a little bit of series where Red was trying to defend their garrison from green, and I was just hitting runbacks. Look at this guy. One guy leaves him, this other guy just kind of keeps riding on past. That's not a team I want to be on. People just leaving their peeps there to get just beaten down. I don't know if this was the same Mesmer I fought earlier, but either way, he goes down just as quick. So yeah, at the end of the video is a fight I have against this staff daredevil that uses a lot of dodge, blind, basically slippery enemy you can't really hit. Eventually I get him, but it's a long fight and it's very intense. He had a lot of pressure on me. It was actually a really good fight. This guy is a power NG. You're going to see by the stuff he uses, and you can see how quick he goes down. Now, one of the tactics I use a lot, you see my other videos, is trying to get them to use their skills to dismount me, put their skills on cooldown, and give me a distinct advantage. But he didn't fall for that. So what I deliberately did was I pounced so I'd land right on top of him, use my skill 5 and 2 as part of my skill chain, which we'll talk about later when we get to the build, and then when you see after I go more into that. But even if you got to fast forward through to the end to see a fight with Thief, I think it's worth it. He didn't use stealth though, because it wasn't a stealth lead. He had acrobatics because he wanted more dodges, and that's kind of what this build is based on too. This was interesting. I barely capped this in time. See all the red coming in, I knew I was going to have it close, so I'm going to move out of the way. And this boy's going to be there. Red just has a habit of leaving their peeps. He stays here. Maybe they thought I took off. He wants to fight me in the middle of my camp. I welcome that. I got ads at my disposal to help. Not that I really need it. You can see his bar melting with all those condis. Again, that's the benefit of this build. Harder with some people with condi cleanse like that thief that I fought, because I knew, again, I run a lot of thieves, so I knew what he was running for a build. That was a dance set. Whoever failed first lost. Okay, this I didn't even realize. Look at my mini map. You can see that pink tag coming up. I didn't even realize he was there. And so I just thought I'd take this fight anyway. This is good that I was holding my own well enough. I don't know if I don't think I would have won it on my own. Might have. You never know. That's why I try. And then these guys come in and just get mowed down. So I got a bunch of free bags. Thank you very much, Air Guild, for coming through right when I needed you. And there I am thanking them because I am polite. Alright, let's talk about the build. Okay, this is Condi, Ambush, Mirage. It's dependent upon Condi. So we're going to talk about, you know, that skill right there. Skill 2 on staff is important. It's good mobility, space maker. But let's talk about traits. Traits are important. A lot of times we forget about it. So, dueling, gain vigor. This one, gain vigor, because dodging is key to this build. Dodging and then skill 1. And then you have shatter skill 2 is important. That's the other thing. Do is dodge skill 1 and shatter skill 2 when you generate clones. And see that create a clone at your position when you dodge. Very important. So dodging is very important in this build. Regeneration, you get concentration expertise. That's important. And it's good to heal. And again, use shatter skill 2, you get protection, survivability. Illusionary membrane, gain chaos aura and use your second shatter skill. Chaos aura grants you increased condition damage period of time. Give yourself random boons and increases condition damage. So you see how that pops up there, and that was even with my chaos. So that's anytime you get a chaos shield. Okay, gain condition damage. That's important. That's part of this build. You see that also get condition damage there as well. So getting those chaos auras are important, and there's another way to get it with skill 5 and 2 we'll talk about in a little bit. Okay, and also reduces the recharge for staff. Concentration and expertise, again, that's important because boons give you survivability. And increase stealth duration and gain random boons while you are in stealth. That is super important spell, especially as this build is loaded with stealth, which makes it so survivable and so annoying to fight sometimes. I guess that's kind of why I like it. So that's good. In this one, gives you Mirage Cloak, so when you dodge, it gain access to deception skills, which turns your skill 1 auto attack down in the bottom, Chaos Vortex Ambush, release a vortex of chaos energy. That is, you and all your clones fire a bunch of Condis at your targets. Amazing. Okay, yeah, gain regeneration when in Mirage Cloak. Again, anytime you dodge, you get regen, and it helps also cut down on Condis. So this really helps this build be super survivable, or good for survival, and you're also just throwing Condis at people. I absolutely love this build. Okay, and so look at Nomad's Endurance again, vigor giving skills. It's important because you have to dodge, use skill 1, so the more you can do that, the more you can throw at people. And this just gives improved ambush skills. And this increases your movement speed, which is good. Mobility is key, you know how I feel about that. And see, when you gain Mirage Cloak, your illusions do too. So when you do that and dodge, use your skill 1. That's why your illusions also fire that same Condi burst of the weapon set you're on. For me, it's either staff or scepter. Because I'm using staff and then scepter torch. So those are the traits. Now watch me dodge. You're going to see you get regeneration and that ambush cloak. And watch my skill 1. See it changes? That's where you got to use it. You only get a second to do it before it goes back to your normal skill 1 for that ambush skill. Okay, so let's talk about equipment. We're using Trailblazers with runes, superior runes of the Trapper. So Trailblazers, all the armor. And I got this build from Guild Gen, and you can look it up too under roaming Condi Ambush Mirage. And I also have I'm using condition damage infusions. And on Guild Gen, I kind of tweaked it from what they had, or the old build had Rune of the Trapper, but they suggest now currently, I looked it up again, so it'll be current, but I didn't want to use it because Rune of the Traveler, that might be if you're first starting out, it makes you give you a bit more survival to it. But I like the Condi damage because you've seen those bars, and you'll see those bars from the fights after this. They just melt because I just love to load them up because that's just the kind of guy I am. And of course, Trailblazers on all my trinkets. staff, Trailblazer with superior rune of energy, and then also superior rune sigil of cleansing, superior sigil of energy, superior sigil of cleansing, and some infusions. Again, you want to have that energy every time you swap because this build is based around dodging to activate that ambush. And then the scepter, energy, and then torch. I'm using sigil of doom. You can also use cleansing if you want, but I don't feel that I need that, so I like to add more Condi. And then relic of rivers, gain alacrity and regeneration at the end of your dodge roll. So you keep getting a little bit of alacrity, a little bit, again, remember, regen helps this build, so that is key, and the more dodges you have. So, weapon skills. See the bottom box, Chaos Vortex. Dodge, that becomes your skill. That ambush, release a Vortex of Chaos Energy, inflicts damage or conditions on foes. Allies near you gain boons. Wonderful. This one I use for you teleport away from target, summoning a clone, summon an illusion for skill 3. That gives some more Condis. Skill 4 is the Chaos Shield. So that's kind of nice. It's going to Chaos Armor, and it gives you that Chaos Aura, which is again very useful in this build. So you want to have that on as much as you can. And then Chaos Storm, which is good, and you use skill 2 in conjunction with that one. If you're inside of it, pops you back and gives you Chaos Armor as well, so it extends that. So I usually use 5-2 with a 3 in there somewhere to get Chaos, and then I'll hit Chaos skill 4 before I weapon swap to extend that while I'm into this one, and so into a Scepter Torch. So this one, again, Ether Barrage Ambush, amazing, down on the bottom box. That's another good one, gives you a little bit of quickness as well, and loads. This one loads them with a lot more Condis than the staff does. It's really awesome, but you don't get the boons like you do on the staff. Alright, block is good, and if you don't use this block, you can just activate it and counterspell and make them blind, so you still benefit. This I use when everything else on cooldown, just add confusion to them. So you see me use that a little bit. This one, again, great for stealth. It also does damage and makes them blind, so that's a good one. I've been using that a little bit more lately, but I still don't use it that much. I save it more for an emergency. And then skill 5 is pretty good because not only does it summon a clone, but I believe it also, being torch skill, gives burning and confusion and dazes, so interrupt, so that's great. I love it. Okay, so then we look at the heal. The heal, they originally wanted the Mirage Mirror. I don't use. I like this one, has reflects. Ambush, this is great. It moves you to random spots around your target. So they're trying to get away. I use it to get in front of them, or on the rare thing, you can use it to stomp someone that uses a downstay teleport, and sometimes drops you on if you're in the middle of your animation and you'll still stomp them. And if you use it, it breaks targeting. So if you have a bunch of clones out and they have you targeted, they have to find you in the chaos and still try to target you so they can do damage. So I use that one a lot too, and it surprises a lot of people if they try and go up on a ledge or something like a thief. You can just pour it up to them and surprise them because they think they've got the upper hand. So this skill I love. It takes a while to get used to because it's random will you pop up, but you'll see I use it quite a bit, and it is really good. Or if you need to create space, you see in that final fight I had to use that a lot, just to keep myself alive and give me space to heal to get back into it, because that thief was very good at pressuring. I imagine he's getting probably kind of frustrated because I bet he probably wins those fights pretty quick. Either way, that was cool. Of course, teleport's also a stun break. That blink is amazing. I love that. This improves expertise, and you can also blind nearby foes and stealth. Again, extra stealth. Told you I have a lot of it on here. And of course, that last one in line is mass invisibility. You and all your allies gain stealth. That's 9 seconds, guys. 9 seconds of stealth. It's amazing. Coupled with everything, you should go for everything. Of course, Shatter 1 I don't really use, but it gives you Vigor if you need it. Again, Vigor helps with the regen. 2 is the one you use the most. 3 I use every so often for interrupts, but it also gives you Vigor. And 4 I use if I think someone's got me locked down and they're getting ready to combo, I'll pop that early, or if I'm going to stomp, I'm going to pop so they can't knock me back or interrupt my stomp. So I do a lot of those things. I've been using that a little bit more. I used to be kind of miserly with like, oh no, I need it for an emergency. I'm going to use it for whenever I need it. So I find that has been very useful skill and kept me alive, and actually has been kind of helped me win some fights. Okay, so let's just talk about quick combos. 5, 3, and 2. Not necessarily that. Well, 5 always have to be first. You can do 3 or 2 either way, but make sure you're in the chaos to do it. And then use 5 and 2 in this set. I use also F2. I use a lot that one again when I'm on cooldown. But whenever I go into Scepter Torch, I always start with 5 unless I need to block right away or stealth. So those are really all the skills, kind of how I run it. But again, on staff, it's always going to be 5 with 2 inside of Chaos AoE to give you that Chaos Shield, because that's very useful for the skill for survival and damage. So this guy I saw, you can see he's new, and I'm just not going to fight him. So I want to see if you want to fight. He didn't, but I'm back at this camp, and he came to me. So yeah, I'll fight him. Watch how far his, or how fast his bar goes down. I just don't think he came with Condi cleanses. So see how quickly you can down someone that might not be savvy. But remember, he came to me, everyone. I don't go hunting these people. Alright, this was cool. This was 2 individuals. It's a Deadeye and a Dragon Hunter, also along with fighting these ads with a couple guards and dealing with the silly scouts that blind you. This guy did pretty well. He had some Condi cleanse. See how he kept cleansing my Condi, the Dragon Hunter. I totally ignored the Deadeye. I don't know what he was doing, to be honest. He might have been new. They were both bronzes. Doesn't really mean a lot. I've fought people with no titles at all that have trashed me, and I've also fought diamonds that lost real easy. So rank isn't always an indication, and here I am going to stealth because I didn't want to get knocked back. So rank isn't always an indication, but if someone's at a diamond legend, they should at least know how to fight. So I'm always kind of surprised that they lose so easily, some of them. Okay, so this guy, I tried to pull him off the sentry because I'm marked and I can't stealth, but I figured whatever. I just guess I got a little impatient trying to put fights in this video for everyone. So we're gonna follow him, and you see I'm going to use my stealth to add burning to him, and he's gonna go down. Alright, I'm going to talk more about play-by-play stuff. That's what I said I'd do. So let's get to it. Okay, so you think this guy wouldn't run. He's in a fight guild, and he ran. Anyway, we're going to fight again. You see, so use skill 5. I'm going to stand in it. Use 2. Gave me Chaos Aura. Use Chaos Aura 3. Skill 2. Some dodge. Throwing a dodge in there to get my max amount of clones. Remember, every time you dodge, you get a clone. So I always also dodge after I shatter anything because I want to get a clone out to take some of the damage and do some damage. Now he had some clears, but see, I keep just loading the Condis on him, and that's what you do. You got to keep dodging, keep weapon swapping, keep using your skills off cooldown. Remember, your staff has a shorter cooldown because of that trait, and you could even just camp staff if you wanted and still win this. But I like weapon swapping because I like the advantage. This was a good fight. This guy was good. So 5, 3, 2, get my Chaos Armor, dodge, 2, and I'm going to 4, and then I go right into 4 stealth, 5, 2 for a block, and then I'm going to throw the blind at him. And he's going to lift me up here in a second, and heal, and he's going to use that float, and I'm going to use I used the blink to break out of it, and now I'm going to keep pressuring him, and he's going to go right down. I tried to stealth, but my clones, watch out, your clones can reveal you if they're damaging after you steal or stealth, so be aware that can happen. But by this point I guess I had him. Okay, this was good. This guy, I was waiting for him to attack me, see if he wanted to fight, and he did. And he does pretty well, but watch his... So I had to change my tactics here a bit. I start off my normal rotation, 5, 2, 3 or 5, 3, 2. And he was an AoE. See how he kept trying to be up in my grill? So those guys, you can kind of kite a little bit, because remember your range. You can use skill 2 on staff to get some distance. You can use skill 2 to block. Skill 7 to reposition. Alright, Willbenders. I think I beat almost every kind of person in this video, profession. These guys, people fear them as well, but they melt just like anybody else. They have some resistances and Condi clears, but not a whole lot. I mean, they do run a lot of boons. So see, even though he has those boons, he keeps ticking down because he he obviously can't cleanse it, so it's just a matter of time. And you just kind of stay out of the way, and he goes down. And of course I like to stealth. Don't want to see it coming. It's the thief in me. Alright, this thief up here was kind of just hanging out. So I'm going to come up there. I'm looking to fight. I'm sure he wants to fight too, and he does. And so you see I'm marked by the sentry, so I'm going to kind of kite the thief away. He's going to try and dismount me, but I'm not going to let him. I want to draw him away because I don't want to start a fight with marked where I can't stealth. So I'm going to keep checking that, and then eventually we're going to dismount each other and the fight starts. This was a high pressure fight. He doesn't use stealth, but he's using staff with a lot of dodges and blinds. Basically, it's a build that's hard to even land a hit on him because they're constantly dodging, stealing, a lot of mobility, bounding, and he's doing a lot of blinds. I've encountered one other thief like this before when I was running an old video on my Condi Axe Thief, and didn't work so well on that one because he couldn't pin me down and he couldn't dodge stuff. So this is a long fight, so buckle up, just watch the dance. You're going to see we're going to get into a routine. We're going to go down the hill because I see a green come out there, and I'm going to kind of draw him down the hill a little bit, and to take some pressure off and get myself oriented, as well as getting away from this green guys can come out because I don't want to get this fight screwed up, because this was a really good fight. This was a good player with what he was using, for sure. So, you know, see he's using some vault again. That's got some evade frames, and you've got 3 dodges plus a refresh with the heal, and he's got Dagger Storm again. All that stuff evades, and the Dagger Storm reflects. So you have that going on. So this was very hard. Took a long time. So I see that guy up there, and I don't feel like getting ganked. I want to try to see if I can win this fight, and I'm trying to catch my breath. So he saw me because I'm not invisible because my clones were still damaging him, but it created the space. And the cool part about him being on staff, though, solved the problem of him trying to port up and down off that plateau, because I didn't know if that was going to be an issue when I didn't know what his weapon set was or what his build was. So you can see I can't get a whole lot of Condis on him because he keeps dodging, but he's having the same problem with me because I keep dodging. A lot of his stuff is missing. I'd say probably about 25 to 50%. And I think what finally happens with the win is I'm able to finally, he either mistimes his dodge or I interrupt him at the right time, because you see I'm using F3 on him, because I need everything I can to try to slow this guy down. And you notice I change my order of operations with, normally I do Chaos Storm with skill 2 on staff to port back into the shield. I couldn't do that. I had to change it to a point where I had to use it to get room right there, like you just saw. I would use my heal, and then we're back into it. I have to use Chaos Storm off, and it interrupts, gives me boons while I stand in, and gives him conditions. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I say him, could be him or her, it's just habit. I don't want to try to say they or whatever. Just know that I recognize this player could be a Martian for all I know, but I'm going to call him him, just makes it easier to talk about it. No offense to anyone. Okay, anyway, back to the play-by-play. So I got to keep doing Chaos Shield 4, so that helps, but I'm losing some because I can't get my 2 in. You're going to see I'm going to create space when I can, again with skill 2, so I can heal. And this fight is, I don't know, it's like 3 to 5 minutes long, but think about what you got to deal with. This is a lot of pressure on me. This guy, as far as a thief, is very good with the pressure. But see how I'm being mobile? This is what's messing him up. If I wasn't so mobile, I think this fight would have been over. He would have killed me like 30 seconds into it. So mobility is key to this fight, and he knows this too. You're going to see him a couple times port to the top of that, kind of up the trail a little bit there to gain some space to either use a stolen skill, because when he steals from me he gets ectos, which gives him all kinds of boons. You'll watch his bar, you'll see every so often that it balloons up. He also gets health, because I think he's got Mug on there, which is a trait that when you steal you gain like 2k health. And I think probably how I win this is I just get a opportunistic dodge at the right time where I dodge his steal, he doesn't get the ecto, and he also can't clear my Condis. That's coming up relatively soon. I think we got another minute and a half of this fight. But this was just amazing. So I know why this is why most people are afraid of all thieves. This guy's very aggressive. Lucky for me, that's how I fight, so it didn't mess with my nerves. That's another thing that happens when you're new. You get nervous, like, oh no, and you start fat fingering keys and stuff. Don't worry about that stuff. It gets better. You got to practice. You got to get used to losing. And you're going to see too at the end, right as I finally get the drop on him, he comes down, I'm getting ready to stomp, you see a guy come on my screen, I'm Mesmer with a spear. I was kind of bummed at first. I'm like, I wasn't sure. I'm like, did he help me? I wanted to win this on my own because this was a good fight. And it turns out he did not. He comes, if you watch the mini-map, if you're curious, you'll see his dot come with another guy behind him, and he only drops off the ledge at the end, just trying to get a tick on him to get a free bag. So I felt pretty good, even better that I won this fight. All by me onesie, as they say. Well, a lot of times he had me down to a quarter or less health, and it's that mobility that allows you, and this allows you to do it too, because you can see I'm turning away from him, running and all that stuff to create distance. You know, your clones do most of the work. However, you do want to be facing them when you skill 1, just so you can get all your skills to hit him at the same time. That's it right there. He's down. He's going to port up to the top because he missed one of his things. He doesn't have as many boons, and now all these condies. Now you see these guys on the edge of my screen coming down, the green dots, and then they're going to come down, and he's going to try and hit him with his spear. But that was an amazing fight. Hats off to that guy. He did a great job. So this was a long video. I hope you spent the time to watch it. I hope it was helpful. If not, tell me in the comments how I can make it better, make it more understandable. I want to help people win fights. I always hated when I started. I was losing fights. And I'm going to be honest here. When I first started, probably 0 to 1 out of 10. Now, no ego, no nothing, just subjective fact. I'm usually winning 8 or 9 out of 10 of every fight I do of 1v1s. And I'm even winning multiples now. So either way, hopefully it's helpful. And thank you for watching, and leave any comments in the comment section below, and have a most excellent day.